proceed. Joseph Arrett.
Thank you, Councillor. I just wanted to make 3 points in the context of the report, but I would like to congratulate the government and the committee and its members for all the work that they have been doing, as well as our diplomatic service, in restoring our reputation abroad. I did used to work abroad, and there were a couple of low points, certainly in the last number of years before I came in here, and that has all changed from my own contacts now abroad as a result. But just the 3 points in the context of this report, and I welcome it. It's an excellent report. The first is in relation to this aspect of trade, and Deputy Burma was talking about this, and Deputy Mitchell, and who we trade with. We have to be careful here not to open up ourselves to hypocrisy. We've abused human rights in the past ourselves. There are those who say today that we are still abusing human rights, whether it's in relation to the issue of fetal abnormalities, not being able to achieve determination, how we treat people in direct provision. So we should be careful when we speak about other countries, and not be kind of coming in on a high horse. Also, Deputy Mitchell's correct, trade opens up countries. And there is a long history in international relations of countries using soft power, their economic power, to bring an influence and to change attitudes in other countries. And I think it's a good thing that we do, and that our diplomats do for us very well, and the government in their trade missions. The second point I'd like to make in relation to the report is in the context of paragraphs 11 and 12, because I think they are important. I know that the report is talking about the work that Diplomatic Corps has done in rebuilding our economy and opening up new trade links, but we have to remember that we shouldn't try and reduce, in a kind of reductionist attempt, the work that our foreign affairs ambassadors and their staff do to simply trade, to simply earning. We shouldn't try and quantify it in that way. You know, how much trade does a particular embassy bring in? Because you can't quantify what it means to someone when an Irish person is distressed abroad and the embassy comes to their aid. You can't quantify what it means when, say, in Dubai and the Burj Al Arab, the giant shamrock is projected in St. Patrick's Day, and the positive impression that gives to people of Ireland. Also, at the moment, there's a conference happening in the Royal Irish Academy around the corner on disarmament issues, and we've been to the forefront of that. And you couldn't possibly quantify the importance of, say, our initiative in the 1950s and 60s in relation to the Non-Proliferation Treaty and what that means to the world today. So I know that the report notes it itself, and it's not trying to elevate trade over other aspects of foreign affairs, but I think it's important to note it in the context of this debate. And the third point I'd like to make in relation to this report is that it's important that we marry our foreign policy with our domestic policy, particularly when it comes to financial issues. And in that regard, and because this symposium is happening around the corner, disarmament and non-proliferation of nuclear weapons is incredibly important. It's been, when we first entered the United Nations, that and peacekeeping were our two pillar issues. Yet today the state invests in companies that produce nuclear weapons and their delivery vehicles through the Pension Reserve Fund. It's about over 10 million. It's not a huge amount, but it's significant because it is completely at odds with our foreign policy and our reputation in this area. And I think as we move to establish a new strategic investment fund for the country, that we should divest from these companies and make sure that we have an ethical investment policy that matches our foreign policy abroad, that when we speak on these issues and others, including in human rights, that we're not opening ourselves up to hypocrisy in how we spend our own money. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Deputy.